We have been in this journey for a couple of speeches now. We started talking about what happens at school time. We moved abroad after a couple of years and we went back in a bit closer. So, how is it better not to have someone, a fresh graduate of our school? He graduated a couple of years ago. He's walking now absolutely a different path for success. Please welcome on stage Mr. Muhammad Ismail.
Test. Okay. So, hello everyone. I'm Mohammed Ismail, a proud CISC alumni. When I was younger, I always dreamt to become a doctor. Go abroad, study, become an expert, and come back to serve my people. Sounds wonderful, right? Well, it did to me too. So I generally thought this was my dream. This is a path that I am meant to follow. But as the school years slowly passed by, I realized that medicine wasn't my only passion. I had other stuff in mind. So me, being curious as always, and I remember how when I was a kid, I used to stare at world maps, trying to know every country name, the flag, and even sometimes its capital. So I started to explore. I went to internships, I started volunteering, I attended panel discussions, and then came a big opportunity for me to show myself to my surrounding. The French Institute asked me to create an recycled installation art piece. And my IGCSEs were only a week away. I had to prepare for my English exam. But as who I was, and me simply by being me, I took the chance. I created this art piece that you can see behind me and spent 50 hours, 7 hours a day to create this instead of studying for my exams. I used to be criticized for this one a little bit, not like my next decision. Wait until you hear that one. Because I got A's in my exams, and I aced all of it. So this passed well, and I said, okay, I can take more. I can explore and do good. Then, after the academic year passed by, came AS level exams. For AS level exams, just before the mock exams, I remember it was around April or May. It was around April. I received my confirmation email to attend SORAN Model UN. I was looking so much forward for this email because I remember signing up for it in summer. And then I checked the email again. I saw the dates. They were the exact same dates as my AS mock exams. So this decision was honestly hard. I didn't know what to do. Shall I go to the exams? Or shall I go to the Model UN? Well, you will be surprised with the decision. I want you to guess from now, but I went to the Model UN. I skipped my AS mock exams. And I was the youngest participant in that event from the 100 that were there. The only one from grade 11. But this was the decision that I got criticized heavily for by everyone around me. Because the top performer, the one who aced his IGCSEs, now did the worst he could ever do in his academic years. So I had to repeat my AS exams, and everyone was surprised, like, Mohammed, why would you do this? I'm sure even you, the audience, might ask, what did it worth? Did it worth your grades? You just got a mere certificate, but you lost your official grades. Well, to be honest, it worth it. That was what sparked a fire inside me. That single event reminded me how much I liked politics and international relations from the beginning. So then summer passed by. I decided to be less active, to not repeat the same mistake, and study and exhaust myself for the A-level exams, and chose my A-level subjects just to go to medicine and nothing else. Then later, the grades came. The grades came and I looked at it. I was like, well, this wouldn't get me to medicine. I felt crushed. I felt disappointed. I felt so disappointed for not meeting the expectation everybody had in me. Not my teachers, not my principal, and not my parents. Well, especially my parents, because after all this belief that they put into me, they only ask for a simple thing: get good grades, so I can pursue anything that I want in the academic career. So, everyone around me, everyone, friends, teachers, some of them, not all, parents were always there to support every decision I made, no matter if I would repeat the year, repeat the exams, or follow what I loved the most. So I took a bold decision. I took a very bold decision. This decision was very hard. I was questioning it even halfway through my degree. So I chose politics and international relations, because that's what I loved the most. And you might ask, well, what was that force? What drove you to explore and search for all this stuff and search to find your true self and what you love the most? Well, that, dear audience, was my sense of responsibility for this land that we all call home. For this land that we all call home. I appreciate the school's emphasis on these matters and also appreciate my parents' teachings. So, this land, what's so special about it? It always reminds you that there is always something greater than you. There is always something above what you have. And that I always tried to be better at my studies, and I keep trying to deliver better at my work, and I, even to this day, try to be a better student at uni. But for what? For who? For myself? No. No, that's too selfish. This is all for this land. I know this might sound cliché, at least to some of you, but to me, having just personal goals was not the case. Because when you have personal goals, and when they are superficial, it's very easy to lose motivation. You lose motivation easily, and you think to yourself, well, why am I doing this? What's the whole purpose? We are all going to die at the end of it anyway. But then, this land reminds you. This land always reminds you. When you see how beautiful it is, you always get reminded to always be the better version of yourself, to always aspire for greatness, because that is the only way our society will move forward. So then, I got to uni. When I saw my professors and when I would attend international conferences, I would see so many professors and experts in their field, and that they would dedicate their whole life to their field. And I was wondering, how? How is it possible? How could you not get bored of this? Then I realized, when they were enjoying it, I realized that they were simply being themselves. And I'm sure most of us, when we were in high school, including the current students, thought that there is only one path to success. And that, to me, honestly, was having a big bank account. But when I saw those professors, I realized, well, that's not the case. Money isn't everything. Money doesn't mean success. It's much greater than that. So, going back to my teenage years, I realized how I would always be mesmerized with my father's hobby, and that was creating art with wood. And I would be curious, how could you give so much meaning to a simple material like that? So then I decided to immerse myself in my passions more. And going back to the graduation, everything that I say is not chronological, but that came to my mind. Going to my graduation, after I graduated, without even taking a day of summer break, not even a single day, after being that exhausted after my A-level exams, I immediately went to work. I went to work because I wanted to, honestly, but not only that, because my parents pushed me. My parents pushed me to always try new things, always explore, and always be best at what you do. So I took the role as a PR manager. From school, class, to work office. I took the role as a PR manager, and then the responsibilities slowly came along the way. They increased. Day after day. From a PR manager, I turned into an operation manager. Then I saw the responsibilities floating their way to my life. There was this particular project, I remember, that had a huge financial responsibility on me. And I was scared. I was honestly scared. How many stuff shall I be responsible for? My school, but now it turned into my university. My work, my homeland, and so much more. But I couldn't give up. I couldn't give up and choose comfort over this pressure. So I took that as well. And being busy with this work, I realized I was feeling something. I felt like I don't belong to the room. I always felt like an imposter, like an alien. I was thinking to myself, how? How without an expertise, I could not mess this up? How could I deliver this project? But gladly, I did. And I exceeded everyone's expectation, unlike what happened in grade 12. And then, while I was delved into the business, I realized the other passions that I had. And that was carpentry and business at the same time. Then I decided, after a few more projects, to open my own business and my own workshop, which now the workshop proudly creates customized carpentry pieces from kitchen cabinets to libraries. So now I live two lives. I live two lives. In the morning, I'm a university student, attending seminars, classes, and constantly arguing with the teachers. You can ask them. And in the afternoon, I'm a business owner that takes calls, responds to clients, and makes sure everything is delivered smoothly and with the highest quality possible. And you might ask, what do you do in the evening? Well, in the evening, I finish what's left from work, and then try to finish the assignments left from uni. And my social life, well, let's say it's non-existent. Coming to the end of my talk, during this short amount of years that I lived, I realized one thing, that you only need two things. You need two things to take on every challenge you have. And that was being passionate about what you do, and loving it to your core. And second, being responsible. Being responsible for this land and being responsible for the decisions you make. And I want you all to remember at the corner of your mind that there is no single path to success. So, don't just live the dream you were told to live, but live the dream that you were meant to create. Thank you, everyone.